Hi all. So a while ago on YouTube, I stumbled down a wormhole of small kitchen appliance reviews. As I was looking to buy an air fryer and perhaps maybe a pressure cooker, that's when I stumbled across one of the worst YouTube chefs of all time. His name is Jack Scalfani, as I like to call him, Jack Salmonella Scalfani. I watch video after video of him butcher, sometimes quite literally, recipes. Imagine driving slowly past a multi-car pileup on the interstate. That's my face as I watched him teach the internet how to make partially cooked meals of varying types and taking awful and unneeded shortcuts to recipes that are already quick to prepare. The absolute horror of Jack's lazy man chefing, air quote, techniques to my boyfriend Tom. And now, since we can't unsee it, we are opening your eyes to it as well. I'm Michelle, and I welcome you to join us for this horrific journey, better known as Pink Chicken and the Lazy Man. Welcome back to Pink Chicken and the Lazy Man.
Pink Chicken and the Lazy Man. That's right, folks. We are back. I know. You missed us for 5 months, and here we are coming at you with a twofer. We reviewed honey garlic pork chops.
And now we're going to go back to 2 weeks ago. This is December 13th that we're currently in.
It's almost live, really.
The beginning of December, end of...
It's still 2020, so it's all hellscape.
No,
it's all...
November. We are coming back with the Fall Apart Bourbon Ribs episode, which is hovering around 10,000 views, which is high.
And yet, spoiler alert, they do not fall apart.
Yeah, he makes a point of saying that proper ribs should not fall apart.
When I make my ribs, the meat just falls off the bone into my gullet.
So it's a confusing title. It doesn't make any sense.
It's a confusing time of our lives, really.
And we're letting Jack Scalfani steer the ship. So
dangerous.
Yeah, it is dangerous.
Yep. So 2 weeks ago, 10,000 views. Let's not prolong this any more than we have to, because this is almost an 8-minute video.
Rip the Band-Aid right off.
We go.
Yeah.
All right, synchronize your YouTubulators. No pre-roll ads on this one for us, so we got caught off guard by that guy. So we're jumping right in 5, 4, 3, 2. So camera positioning. He zoomed in a little bit more than he was for honey garlic pork chops. Lights are still blinding, blaring into the gloss of the cabinets.
It's roughly about the same setup as last time.
It's a little bit more. It's a little less level this time, though. Have you noticed?
Yeah. We
noticed, especially with the Christmas videos, because we watched Christmas videos already. It gets really bad with Christmas crack. Jack is babbling on about the types of meat that he has. He's got the ingredient pile in front of him.
He's got beef, I guess, because Tammy's gonna eat beef.
Yeah, Tammy wants a steak. Tammy's like, I ain't having any stupid ribs. You always burn them. They're always
Jack
tough.
Jr. and Brianna are having baby back ribs, which are they pork, beef? I don't know.
Baby back.
I don't eat ribs usually, and then he has 2 packs of lamb ribs, which I didn't realize were a thing you could buy anywhere in the store around here, but...
They're very cruel, because when you know what lamb is, you're like, I don't want to eat the baby sheep, and he's like, no, give me, I want the bones, I want to eat every piece of the baby sheep, shove it in my Sarlacc mouth.
So we pause it so we can...
Star Wars reference she won't get.
Nope, I will not. So we pause the video about 1:13 in so we can look at the rest of the ingredients while we get carried away here with the meats section.
While we watch Jack touch his meat in inappropriate ways.
So we have organic ketchup, dark brown sugar.
Oh, you know it's Sam's Club because the beef comes from Members Mark. That's Members Mark.
La Choy soy sauce, Worcestershire
an entire
sauce.
Bag of dark brown sugar, which will go in the bowl because there's no way he cut that down.
Anise, allspice.
Anise and allspice, yeah.
And Four Roses bourbon. Now,
or anise, as he says, as if he's going to have a bottle of anise and a bottle of a nephew.
So let's talk about this bourbon because...
The cheapest bourbon you could buy. Folks, if you ever hit rock bottom like maybe the lazy man did once upon in his life, and you can't afford Night Train wine anymore or Manischewitz, you go right for the Four Roses bourbon. That's about $4 a bottle, depending upon your state or commonwealth. You're making bourbon ribs on YouTube. You're making a video people want to watch. You want to pretend like, oh, I don't know anything about this alcohol you plebs drink, so I'm just gonna get this stuff. Like, why would you not get a good bourbon? It's just food. You gotta boil the alcohol off anyway, so you're going for the flavor. But nah, Jack gets the garbage gut stuff.
So
The rock gut.
okay, I understand Jack Jr. Brianna. He has his own ribs going out. Why are there 4 fucking pieces of huge ass steak? Is Tammy eating that all herself? You know she isn't.
Oh, you know what? He's going to do the technique here where you just add the boiling water and the seasoning. Normally you season them, you season boiling water and then you dump it on the ribs and cover them for a little while. So you're steaming them, parboiling them, sealing the meat of the rib, and they absorb the flavor of it. But normally you do that because technically you gotta cook these for a while because there's bones in them. He's also doing the steak. There's no bones in that, but he's gonna do it as if it's ribs. So he's just gonna dump boiling water on that meat.
Okay, now I'm confused because I don't think I saw him pour boiling water over that steak, but he has it in there.
It's lined up like it's gonna. It's not like what's gonna happen.
We don't see the steak at the end, do we?
It's like a British cooking show. We're boiling the beef.
I don't think we see the steak at the end, so we don't. I don't think that's a steak either.
It's just meat. It's just beef.
Like the
beef.
The 2 smaller ones look like steaks, but the bigger one looks like a London broil or something of that nature.
Yeah, it's just that vacuum sealed pack of red meat you get at Sam's Club. It said members mark on the package. Basically, just because Tammy's like, you always screw up the ribs, so I'm just gonna have beef. Or she's just being contrarian to annoy him. Oh, now we're on to the diabetic-inducing sauce portion of our program. Here goes the whole goddamn bag of brown sugar. Less some that you know he nibbled on, because brown sugar is kind of like candy. He's a couple of those went in the mouth. He's adding Dijon mustard, which he didn't mention. He's not scraping that in. So.
Yeah, he didn't have that out as an ingredient.
Here comes the organic ketchup.
Half of a bottle of ketchup.
Another Sam's Club special. I mean, that's a cup. If that's a cup, if not 2 cups of ketchup, along with the entire 2-pound bag of dark brown sugar, means, what are we thinking? Like 68, 78 grams of pure sugar in this bad boy?
Not to mention the alcohol. Whatever that has in it.
Well, that's just gonna boil off. It's just basically water and a bourbon flavoring because it's 4 roses. Like it's 4 roses. I bet if you read the bottle, it says bourbon flavored alcoholic beverage. It's to name something bourbon. There's actually a technique involved with the aging of the barrel and stuff. Like the barrel has to be charred. Bourbon is different from whiskey. Bourbon's a little bit more sophisticated process. 4 roses is not bourbon. If you read the bottle, it probably is bourbon flavored alcohol product.
Like cheese food.
Exactly.
All right, so
it's the Velveeta of bourbons.
So we're at the point where I guess we've dumped out the liquid.
Burbita.
Okay.
Hang on, I'm gonna work on it. I will punch right. They will listen as I punch right my own damn joke here.
So I guess we've poured out the cooking liquid of. It looks like he's doing the lamb first.
He loves the lamb, so he's doing it first because this is what he likes. Because this is Jack's show.
So he's glazing it. So is this supposed to be like Jack Daniels sauce?
Yes.
Jack Daniels. Yep. Jack Daniels.
Dak Daniels. Yes. This is Dak Daniels. Bourbon Biscuit. Yes. Dak Daniels Bourbon Biscuit, folk. Available in your finest liquor stores or the dumpsters behind therein. Have you been partaking of any Bourbon Biscuit, Pink Chicken? That's not a no, folks.
Stop it.
So here comes the weird part. The honey glaze was basically baked down to lollipop hardness consistency. His sauce here's a little thin.
It's really thin.
It ain't sticking to the ribs. It's not.
Literally.
It's neither sticking, it's neither rib sticking or rib tickling.
The end product, though, admittedly, for Jack, does not look terrible. It doesn't look like a complete and total failure, which is surprising to me. However, that's not to say that it doesn't taste like absolute dog shit.
He dumped a lot of anise in there, and anise is one of those things where, like, if you see a professional cook using, like, they use star anise, which is the uppity version of, the up-jumped version of anise. They use, like, 1 or 2 little sprigs of it. Like, they don't go hog wild with the spoon like he does.
He over-seasons everything.
Right, but that's one of the, like, you can do that with garlic. Who cares? Garlic's yummy. You can do that with onion powder. People eat past it. Salt and pepper, they're fine. Yeah, well, the pork chop.
The pork chops was a sin, but...
But with anise and allspice, you do not want to overdo it with those flavors. Those are strong flavors. Well, anise is black licorice. Like,
we saw the turmeric.
Licorice meat, just is my Tinder profile name.
Well, with him and the turmeric a couple episodes ago. With
it looked like, it was an entire mine full of turmeric. It looked like a mountain of turmeric.
Does he not taste things anymore? Like, did the stroke leave his taste buds, like, lacking? Or has it always been like this?
There's so much damage to this man's palate. In addition to the stroke, which is just all sort of cerebral nerve damage, he's also been talking about thyroid surgery, which is in the throat. So he's going to get surgery done there too. And one of the things I was reading up on, because I care about this stuff, and you folks, the thyroid surgery, a lot of that's caused in males. So thyroid is a hormone regulating gland in the human body. It's just under the larynx by a male's Adam's apple. Women have a lot of trouble with thyroid trouble because women's bodies are hormonally more complex than dudes. Males typically don't get thyroid problems unless there's something wrong with their diets. Specifically, the carcinogens found in smoked meats, like specifically those very complicated hydrocarbons that you find when you smoke food, or if you burn stuff. Like, they tell you not to burn food, like they tell you not even to burn popcorn, because all of that soot is very nasty to the human body. But don't forget, Jack is the man who has like a dozen smokers in the unkempt backyard. The video we chose not to review because it was so short and pointless was the grilled cheese. He smoked those too. He talked about smoking deviled eggs. He smokes everything. You do that enough times in a year, you're gonna get yourself some thyroid problems. So whatever Jack's palate was, it's gonna sustain even more damage. It's like a World War II tank. Just, you watch like Brad Pitt in Fury or one of those movies, and the tank is just taking hits.
All right, so let's pause here for a second. We're at 6 minutes and 52 seconds.
The Bassmasters portion of our program, where he dangles the piece of meat off the off the rib like a worm hanging off a hook, and he's gonna big mouth Billy Bass.
Now who's been having the bourbon?
I guess we've all had too much bisky bourbon.
Let's catch the folks up with all of the ailments that Jack has had. 2 strokes. Both of his legs operated on recently. Ankles, because he was in a 5K and something went awry.
Fishhook spurs on the back of his Achilles. It's common in people who are morbidly obese to have those types of injuries to the Achilles tendon.
But not 1, but 2. So he was Scooty Puff for a while.
Oh, you just reminded me of the Universal video where he's in the scooter in the middle of the street of the Harry Potter world thing, waiting for the dragon to go off.
Yeah, so that was a thing that happened, but
it's just travesty on top of travesty.
Further down the line, he has diabetes.
Oh, obviously. He's at least insulin resistant.
And now to join the party is a screwed up thyroid.
Oh yeah, you have every ailment going on here that can literally be attributed to the standard American diet. One of the things that any nutritionist will tell you is, if you eat like typical American, you gonna die. You are taking years off your life. Now, times that by what we will refer to as the Scalfani quotient. The Scalfani quotient takes the typical variables found in the stereotypical American diet and multiplies them by 100 freaking billion. Quadruple the amount of sugar, quadruple the amount of smoke and carcinogens in his smoking ingredients. It's not going to end well. It's just not going to end well.
The other thing too is he's morbidly obese. I mean, we can see
that's
on camera. That's the tweet. No, but if you watch some of his live videos, some of the places he goes on Jack on the Go, he's not wearing a mask anywhere he goes in these COVID times. So he's 100% vulnerable to either getting COVID and dying of COVID, or if he gets it, being a super spreader himself.
The word comorbidity is not a big enough word for Jack.
With that in mind,
we're going to watch Jack shove more food in his face. Back to time index 652 of this 8-minute video.
Exactly.
Here we go. Oh, look, he's dangling the food. Oh, he's pointing the food at the camera. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's like a Linda Lovelace video. He goes after that meat. The big communion tongue pops out.
Oh, my.
And look, he's not done chewing the baby back rib and he's going for the lamb. Like, ugh.
And isn't the baby back rib supposed to be Jack and Brianna's?
Yes.
And he's eating them anyway?
Of course he is.
What in the
Well,
heck?
he bought extra, sweetie, you don't understand. I bought extra for them so I could try it on camera because that's what I do for my business, my YouTube
No,
video.
if you look in the background, it looks like the beef is sitting on the counter. Like, he shows the beef at the beginning and then we don't hear about it again or have it shown.
Title card's back.
The title card is back.
But don't forget, there's a new top-level domain Jack is invested in, the .store domain.
That doesn't make entrance until later on.
But see, it's on his things now, though. Oh no, Cooking with Jack in the Hub. But no, the Shop My Store is AmazonJack.store.
Yeah, the .store.
He might be affiliate marketing for them. I don't know if it's actually him, although they do give him a keyword. But .store for your e-commerce store, that's a hot new thing. That's all the kids are doing. It's $1.99.
And all he has associated with them are redirects.
Yeah, he's got 302 redirect on the jackmerch.store, and then the AmazonJack.store just redirects to his thing. So they're not even sites. Like, he's not building sites with them. It's just domain name redirects. That's why it's $1.99.
And with that, we're at the end of the video.
Hey, look at that, folks.
We made it.
We're giving you 2 this week. 'Tis the season. We're going to jump into his Christmas episodes. Not only the Christmas crack, and the Lazy Man's Christmas Soup, which is basically, have you ever thought, you're walking through the grocery store, you're being attracted by all the things on the end caps, and then you see it, that giant yellow brick of Velveeta. You're like, who the hell in their right minds, knowing how bad that crap is for you, who would be depraved enough to buy a 2-pound family-sized block of Velveeta? It frightens you. But then you get a little curious, so you pick it up and you start reading the nutrition label, or, it could barely be called nutrition, and you see triple digits of saturated fat, quadruple digits of sodium, just all sorts of god nastiness in it. And Jack's gonna make soup from it.
Oh, it's a roller coaster ride.
So you're not gonna want to miss out on that, folks. Thanks for joining us this time on